Hello and welcome. My name is James Dearsley on behalf of What House here, and we're fast approaching the What House show, which, as you can see just up above me here, I hope, it's on the 27th and 28th of September at the Hilton Metropole. And I'm joined here today by Honor Barratt of Wadswick Green, and I think, Honor, you're on stand R6.
R6, right near the front door.
Right, get them as they come in. All right, well, look, so Wadswick Green, obviously famous for your retirement villages, and I suppose I want to start with the very nature of retirement homes, because I think there's a traditional viewpoint of retirement homes, and I would suggest, or I put it to you, that perhaps the needs of retirement homes have been changing as the baby boomer generation is coming in. Is that sort of fair to say?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct to say. I think thus far, retirement has been a bit one size fits all, and because there's been a bit of a supply problem, you can kind of get away with making quite small, uninspiring environments where people kind of go, oh, I'll just take this one because it's near my house, near where my children live and stuff. And there was very much, there was just no choice at all. But the baby boomers are an entirely different breed, because in their entire lives they've never had to compromise. Every day has been better than the past one. They have final salary pensions. They have taken advantage of a massive housing boom. They're just the luckiest people who have ever lived and who will ever live again. And so as a result, they approach retirement in the way that they've approached the rest of their life. Everything should be better than the previous day. So when you offer baby boomer a little tiny rabbit hutch that's rather unimaginative and doesn't have any space for entertaining and stuff like that, they just can't get with that. And so the result is that baby boomers are staying in their big 5-bedroom Victorian houses with a couple of acres of gardens because there's no other alternative for them. And so instinctively we have felt that we needed to build a product that was as uncompromising as baby boomers are. And so we've built Wadswick Green, but particularly baby boomers are also quite likely to have a holiday home or spend quite a lot of time traveling. So they've really responded to this idea of I'm going to right size my big family home rather than downsize. There's no compromise involved. I'm going to put some of my family furniture here in Wadswick Green, and then frequently through the year I will lock up and leave, and I'll go and I'll spend 3 months in Portugal across the winter, or I might go on a 6-week cruise. And so what was on offer to them before just wasn't going to work like that for them.
Yeah, it's fascinating, because I suppose what you said about this baby boomer generation is, I mean, they have the most disposable cash that I think anybody has ever had before and since, perhaps. And you mentioned there about the expensive to run large family houses, and there's a quote actually on the Wadswick Green website from a Times article which I think sums this up, and it sounds negative, but in a sense I think it really brings home to roost this point of we've got to remember these big houses. When perhaps we're looking at the over 60s, they are big and they are expensive to run. And it's Janice Turner, she quotes here that retirement homes, retirement villages, similar to Wadswick Green, are an antidote to the isolation and depression felt by many over 60s as they needlessly hold on to oversized and expensive to run houses. When everyone's gone to university, they've fled the nest, they've got these big homes to run, and like you said, they may have their holiday homes. I mean, crikey, the amount of people who've got properties in Spain and Portugal and Italy and places like that. I suppose what you're saying is that Wadswick Green, as villages and homes, they offer an alternative out for these people to get back to having a manageable life. Is that fair?
Yeah, manageable, but in an uncompromising way. So not manageable because it's diminished at all, just manageable because, like as you said, they're now empty nesters, and there's a little bit of a fallacy of why have I got all these bedrooms with the kids' stuff in, and that all takes looking after and managing and cleaning and all that sort of stuff. So they want to maybe get rid of that stuff. I think what Janice was talking about with the loneliness thing, sometimes these really big houses are at the end of a driveway. You haven't necessarily got immediate neighbours. You might have to get in your car to go and do everything. And that can lead to a sense of isolation. Whereas in a village like Wadswick Green, you just trot up the road, get up your paper and a croissant in the morning, and then hopefully you just end up chatting to a whole load of people who are very similar to yourselves and like to do the same sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point there, because often one of the big tips of purchasing or considering the purchase of a retirement property is this this prospect of the resaleability of it all. And I think when you're looking at a concept, because I will call it as a concept with Wadswick Green, where, and I think if I'm correct, you've got options like having the spa, you've got the games around like petanque, you've got lovely beautiful country walks and so on and so forth. That all affects that resaleability of the property, doesn't it? And I think it's a very important thing to consider when you're buying a retirement property. Is there anything else you can sort of expand on with Wadswick Green as the concept?
There was a little bit for us about space. So when we originally bought the site, it's 25 acres, and some developers might have really rammed a whole load of properties on there, gone for 1,000, 2,000 apartments. But for us, our understanding of baby boomers is that they are used to space. And so we've actually built 248 apartments on 25 acres. And you can, even that sort of maths, I can do that sort of maths. It's about an acre each. And spaciousness is really important. Spaciousness outside with the gardens, but also inside your apartment. So our master architect has made sure that the ceilings are much higher than you might normally imagine. There's a hallway in each one. The doors are really wide. The bathrooms are really generous. There's wet rooms, things like that baby boomers are used to, but that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else in the retirement offering. And then there's just clever little tricks because we've got such a great architect. Like all the apartments have beautiful oak floors, and the oak floors sort of go underneath the skirting boards. So there's just that sense that everything's just a little bit bigger. Rather than being a rabbit hutch, which is what could be on offer for these people.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's one of those. It's the little tiny small things, isn't it, that make a massive difference on this sort of development as well. And so you're going to be there, like I said, in the Brighton Metropole in just a couple of weeks' time now. Crikey, time is coming down. So I presume people, as they walk in, they'll see Wadswick Green, and I presume you have on offer there sort of some people that can talk through the options and what they can do and so on and so forth. Is that right?
Yeah. You come and have a chat through, but also everybody who works on Wadswick Green is quite local to the area, which is Corsham in Wiltshire. So we're not people who have just sort of parachuted in and quickly sell. It's just genuinely people who live in a neighbouring village. And so you can chat to those people. Although you're in Brighton, these people intimately know what it's like to live in Wiltshire. They know Corsham really well. Because I think for retirement, location is a really key factor. People are quite often moving back to where they were born or to where their daughters. It's always the daughters. No one wants to live near son. The son's not going to do anything for you. And so occasionally people are moving to areas that they're slightly unfamiliar with to be near their daughter. And our gang can really chat to you about how lovely it is in Wiltshire and what sort of stuff goes on and what you might want to get involved in.
Oh, that's good to hear. Well, it's to quote Esther Ransom when she was talking about retirement properties in a local retirement seminar that we ran with Watthouse, which was she said that after all, we're not retiring from life, we're simply retiring from work. Yes. And certainly something like a Wadswick Green, it sounds like the perfect sort of place that you can be. So thanks for your time, I really appreciate it. And for those of you who are watching this, as I said, up there, Hilton Metropole in Brighton, 27th and 28th of September. I think it's open 9:30 or 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock. Both days, lots of seminars, quality exhibitors just like Honor and Wadswick down there. So we hope you'll join us and we'll see you there. So thanks very much.